So just a little thing about Srebrenica. So this poem was written to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Srebrenica genocide, in which 8,372 mostly Bosnian Muslim men and boys were captured, killed and buried in mass graves by the Bosnian Serb forces in July 1995. And it was over a period of roughly a week. It started on the 11th of July. And firstly, the fact that we're not hearing much about it is an issue, because when you don't know your history, you'll repeat. And secondly, that genocide doesn't happen in a vacuum. There are 10 stages to genocide, as recognized. And the final stage is denial. And we are in the denial stage when it comes to the genocide in Bosnia. So this is just going to follow the story of the genocide. Srebrenica, town of silver and salt. Before. It's Friday. Turquoise rivers and rolling hills surround these chess players gathered in the White House with a red terracotta roof. These friends will have black coffee, kahva, with cubes of sugar and rahat lakum, that rose-flavoured joy for the throat. The sweetness of these days is fleeting. Foreboding. Radio waves warn of the traitor enemy. Fiery rhetoric splits the streets across lines of names, spits rancor of bygone times, the glory of purity without traitor Turks. Only the three-fingered salute of allegiance cements safety. Flee. Ploughing the fields, they have wheat and corn to pick, cattle to graze and chickens to feed, yet they must leave. Chased from their homes and land by neighbours and longtime friends. Battle lines have been drawn by faraway blood-soaked hands. Villages and towns are set alight. Grenades and shelling fall day and night. Cut off. Soon, no fuel, nor medicine, no crops, no flour, no bread, no water. Houses burned down. These grandparents, the infirm, they can't run. Those who stayed inside, now piles of ash. Desperate ones who left returned to pick a little fruit, berries and plums. Mines and shootings all the way. Human love is so fickle, mortal, and humankind so frail. See the spindly limbs and sunken eyes now, starving, thirsty, sniped from the surrounding mountains. They leave their homes of generations, their land, their fields, their clay. Dogs barking at heavy shelling. Families flee to the free area, risking their lives, treading forest paths by foot in dead of night. There are soldiers and police everywhere. Safe area. The blue helmets are here at last, a miracle announced on the radio powered by a car battery. They'll bring food and safety. July 1995. Every second, shelling, shooting. The Dutch soldiers at the UN base stand guard, obey commands to remain neutral. Separation. Exhausted and drawn, he's thin, clings to his mother with the little strength he has. Barely a teen, but he's dragged to join the men, to be screened. They're told they'll be safe. He's not so sure, but thinks, surely they can't kill all of us. Rounded up. They empty their pockets. Faces he knows and those unknown. Fear changes faces. Coaches of men and boys, the sick and wounded, so old, so young. Some taken out and beaten. Screams the likes of which he's never heard before, stop and start. Chaos and commotion, it's death by thirst, death in slow motion. The coaches and trucks follow different paths, each one to a different hell. A school, a warehouse, a dam, a theatre. Meadows they once played in, fields near the river. There is no breeze this day in July. There is no mercy this day in July. They're split up again, brought to piles of bodies of the poor folk arrived before, made to take off their shoes and socks, hands tied tightly behind their backs, blindfolded, ordered to lie on their empty bellies. That's my alarm for my sorry. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm a professional, yeah. So I think I needed a breather actually. There is no breeze this day in July. There is no mercy this day in July. They're split up again, brought to piles of bodies of the poor folk arrived before, made to take off their shoes and socks, hands tied tightly behind their backs, blindfolded, ordered to lie on their empty bellies. They feel the blood-sticky mud, the dead beneath them. Continuous shooting. Bullets fly through skulls and chests. Moaning and death rattles. They pray to live. They pray to die, desperate not to remain here. Here between realms. Death March. Now, when I was researching for this part, I started getting panic attacks and nightmares, and I had to stop. The details that came with the testimonies were horrific. This is called the Death March. A column of escapees on the move in the woods, the forests. To Tuzla, to the safety of Tuzla. The trees watch these boys, these men, as they follow, step by step, those in front. They slip on bodies as they scramble to avoid the shelling. A man is seen holding his daughter's shoes. He's struck by shells. Even after his death, her shoes are in his hands. There is nowhere to escape between the shooting and shelling. Ahead, there are the broken, their bones jutting out in the heat. Some give themselves up. It's too much. They're told they'll be treated well, though no one believes it. Just another hell. They hope for a swift ending to take them. One carries a photo of his mother to gaze upon if he survives. Evidence. The ground betrays what hands have done. This clay, this topsoil speaks in patterns. It's disturbed by its contents. The hands of a Seiko 5 tell the time of genocide. Its wearer stopped moving, no more motion. The man's beating heart broke to asystole. The final moments the wearer was alive. In time, the truth will out from a meadow filled with human remains. A mandible, a photo in a back pocket, hands tied behind backs, broken fingers, broken ribs, blindfolds around smashed temples, a pair of shorts a mother described, pockets turned inside out. If you can see, I'm wearing the Srebrenica flower. This flower is actually kind of it keeps the memory of Srebrenica, and the mothers of Srebrenica usually embroider these by hand, and I have an embroidered one from Srebrenica as well, but this is the one that I'm wearing at the moment. So this is called Flower, and this was inspired by the mothers of Srebrenica. Flower. She begins in the name of the most merciful, takes the dark green yarn, wrapping it around 2 fingers, ready to form a circle. A hole at the center remains empty, just like his space, just like her heart. She begins yarn over hook, under hook, to create a magic ring. Green. The first color eyes see with ease at break of day. The last eyes see when the light disappears. Green, cloth of heaven, center of light spectrum, the color of life, gardens of paradise. Green, the hope, the prayer that no one else will suffer this way. She takes the white thread, the threads which bear witness to the innocence of the dead. 11 petals claim the day, standing with the mourners, lowering their heads at the graves. She crochets green and white to wear peace, to wear the light on her heart. She sips her kaffa, picks up her prayer beads, sending salutations and prayers until they meet again. So this last one is Tombstone, and this poem is next to the replica tombstone in the Garden of Peace. Tombstone. This marble form is a sign of fleeting time. This grave housed in clay and green sheet. This body no longer clothes the soul, no longer holds the spirit. It was a vehicle for a short while, between the first cry and final lowering of eyelids, between the call to prayer in newborn ears and the last prayer before being lowered into the earth. It might seem that death has engulfed this beloved, but he is alive. Death is not the end of life. They are alive, though we can't perceive it, alive, receiving provision from God. The veil has been lifted. There is no dust, only flowing rivers, gardens, and sweet musk. They rejoice in the hearts of green birds. For now, remembrance is our provision, bearing witness to the love that they love, bearing witness to the life that they live. And they live on. They live on. Al-Fatiha.